Hello there. Recently, we have heard a lot about WikiLeaks, and we have heard a lot about how Hillary Clinton's emails have been compromised and they've been now released on WikiLeaks. They've revealed a lot of interesting things, especially the emails of her chief of staff, John Podesta, that are now available on WikiLeaks. Now, behind me on my laptop over here, you can see, well, maybe you can't see very clearly, but anyhow, I'm going to post the link below this video. This is one of the emails received by John Podesta by someone from an organization called Quantrek, Terri Mansfield, I believe. Let me just check. Yes, Terri Donovan Mansfield. Now, Terri Donovan Mansfield is the director of Quantrek, which is an organization that was founded by Edgar Mitchell. Now, Edgar Mitchell, as many of you know, recently passed away, but Edgar Mitchell was the sixth man on the moon, Apollo 14 astronaut. And Edgar Mitchell has been one of the most vocal people in the whole movement of releasing information about UFOs and extraterrestrial intelligence to the public. Now, in one of my earlier videos, the documentary that I made on UFOs, you can see that video on my channel. I can post a link to that below here. There's a lot of stuff about Edgar Mitchell. There's a lot of stuff where he's talking about why he believes, not only believes, but he knows that we are not alone and that we are in contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. But this email on the Podesta files, which is part of WikiLeaks, is a very interesting email because it talks about the Vatican being interested in the subject of UFOs. And it very specifically, there's one paragraph in this video which specifically talks about how they are in contact with an ETI, extraterrestrial intelligence, from a contiguous universe. Now let me just read this out to you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and read the entire email. It says here, this is from terribillionairs at OL, which is Terri Mansfield, to John Podesta, dated October 1st, 2014. Dr. Edgar Mitchell asks that I write to Mr. Podesta and you requesting his meeting in Washington, D.C. with John to discuss disclosure and zero-point energy. Now, let me just remind you that this email is actually addressed to someone called Eryn, eryn_m_sepp at who.eop.gov. All right. Anyhow, let me start again. Dr. Edgar Mitchell asks that I write to Mr. Podesta and you requesting his meeting in Washington, D.C. with John to discuss disclosure and zero-point energy. As John is aware, more than 20 countries, including the Vatican, have released top-secret papers discussing extraterrestrial incidents on Earth over many years. The US has not participated in disclosure yet. Attending the meeting with Dr. Mitchell will be the following: Mr. Dan Hill, Catholic philanthropist; Dr. Michael Mansfield, Catholic retired Air Force colonel; Mrs. Terri Mansfield, Catholic consultant, replacing Dr. Rebecca Wright for Dr. Mitchell in this matter. Because of his own background as a Catholic, we feel it is imperative that John be aware of the Vatican's interest in ETI, extraterrestrial intelligence, and in sustainability for our planet. The Vatican has hosted global seminars on the repercussions of humans interacting with ETI and how this will affect religion and consciousness. The Vatican's observatory is located here in Arizona, and its top astronomers, including Father Jose Funes and Brother Guy Consalmagno, who have met with Pope Francis, have publicly stated that God's creation could very well include other intelligent life, and that would mean they are our brothers. Now, here's the interesting part. The next paragraph says here, we work with specific ETI from a contiguous universe. They are nonviolent and in complete obedience to God. Now, this is strange. I mean, this is very, very interesting. It doesn't say we want to work or we are looking for. It just says very clearly, we work with specific ETI from a contiguous universe. They are nonviolent and in complete obedience to God. Our ETI's connection to zero-point energy is obvious in that their purpose is to guide Edgar's international contract science team to apply their zero-point energy research for humanity, to move away from the use of fossil fuels which are so deleterious to our fragile planet. Contract science intuitive Dr. Suzanne Mendelsohn, also a practicing Catholic, advises the contract team as to the specific tau neutrino, which is the foundation for zero-point energy, something CERN scientists have begun to study, as well as scientists all over the planet. Because of the recent demonstrations addressing the overwhelming issue of climate change and President Obama's own concern, we feel the timing is perfect to meet with John to map out a plan involving disclosure and zero-point energy. After having met with U.S. Ambassador Pamela Hamamoto at the UN mission in Geneva on July 4th, Edgar announced to Swiss media that he intends to return to the moon on a spaceship fueled by zero-point energy at age 100 in 16 years. Thank you for letting us know 3 possible dates and times for our meeting with John so we can prepare travel logistics. Love, Terry. Now, and it says below that in the email, on behalf of Edgar D. Mitchell, SCD, Chief Science Officer and Founder, Contract, Apollo 14 astronaut, 6th man to walk on the moon. Now, this is something very interesting. It says very clearly in this email, which is on behalf of Edgar Mitchell, a NASA astronaut who's walked on the moon, that we're working with benevolent ETI from a contiguous universe. So this is something really interesting, and it's just, I think it's just a matter of time now that we're going to perhaps get more information, maybe through WikiLeaks or through some other source. And I think disclosure about extraterrestrial intelligence and its presence on our planet at this moment is imminent. When you have someone at the level of John Podesta, who could very well become Hillary Clinton's perhaps chief of staff if and when she's elected and inaugurated president, I think we're going to see a lot of interesting stuff happening in the disclosure of ETI. And I think that this warrants more coverage by the media, more investigation, more specific questions to Contract, for example, when they say that we are working with ETI. Now, who are they working with? From a contiguous universe. Now, what do you mean by a contiguous universe? Does that mean a parallel universe? Or what does this mean exactly? These are some questions that we need to ask them. And plus, we also hear a lot about the zero-point energy that these ETI are using to travel here, and the interests of the Vatican in this topic. I think this is something that needs to be looked at. More people need to talk about this, share this video, tweet this video, get the word out there, send a tweet of this video or a link of this video to major news outlets, ask them to investigate this matter, ask questions. Of course, Edgar Mitchell, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but you still have Contract, you have this Terri, this person named Terri Mansfield. So ask her more information about this. Thank you. And let's hope that we get disclosure very soon.